Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new video that I'm pre-recording the 9th of August. So I'm not completely sure when I'm going to upload this. I think it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's a couple of days later, so the prices might differ, but I will take a look at prices and I will take a look at structures. And in this video, as you might have guessed from the title, we will talk about 3 cryptocurrencies that long-term I think are great holds. Now, the cryptocurrency market is extremely risky. All right, so what that means is that I'm picking a relatively low-risk cryptocurrencies here. So that also means that the probability that they're going to do a 10x is very, very low. You should be aware of that, but this is very much based for, picking coins you can long sustainably over the course of 2025 and the long term. If you're trading, so that's for any capital. And for those of you who have a little bit more capital and just want a great return on your capital, better than in the stock market, these are 3 amazing projects that I think you should be looking at. So let's get right into it. Now, the first project I actually included because of some recent news. It's a personal favorite. I like this project a lot, and it's Chainlink. All right, Chainlink, and I have some notes here to the left of me. Chainlink is one of my favorite projects for multiple reasons. The first one being that it's one of the projects that actually has real utility. All right, it's actually providing utility for DeFi, it's providing utility for RWA, and it actually has a lot of business revenue from companies that just want to venture into crypto. And that's great. That's not only great for your own feelings that you're actually investing in a company and a coin that's actually doing something, but it also creates a better image for a lot of whales and just in general institutions with money to get into this coin, which is something that can drive demand, which is good for the price development as well. Now, more recently, one of the key reasons why I wanted to add this is that Chainlink announced that part of their profits from on-chain and off-chain revenue is going to go towards a reserve of Link. All right, so that means that they're going to buy Link coins, or buy Link tokens, I should say, with part of their revenue. I think that's great. That actually creates demand as well. I think that's great publicity. That's one of the key reasons outside of the real utility that I think Chainlink is great. It's also Ethereum beta, so it's part of the Ethereum ecosystem, or at least it's being perceived as that. Ethereum at this point of time is doing great. And then lastly, Chainlink is most likely also going to be part of some ETFs, which can also drive demand. It might not get an ETF short-term on its own, but it is part of some ecosystem and some index ETFs, which still indirectly will push the price up higher. At this point of time, we've just seen a break above a major level between $18 and $19. Assuming that the fundamentals are going to stay relatively stable, I assume a continuation of this bullish momentum into at least $23 and $24, potentially even higher. But that's short-term. And that is not trading advice or anything like that. But Chainlink, great project, should be on your list. Now, the second project that I wanted to talk about, and the third project is a little bit of a surprise. The second one, probably not. It's Hyperliquid. All right, I've spoken about Hyperliquid very often. It's a great company, and it's a great project as well. I do think with this, you should be a little bit more careful at the current prices. All right, I think there's a lot of reasons to buy this. But I do think if you take a look at the chart right here, that it is stalling, all right? So that it is losing momentum and that it's unlikely to rally above $50, which is the all-time high right now, or at least close to it, in the short term. So with this, I would wait for pullbacks, but during pullbacks, this is one of the best projects to buy for multiple reasons. First of all, it is pulling some huge revenue. So you can see right now, they've done a total volume of $2.2 trillion. You can see can you see the total revenue? I would love to see the total revenue. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see that. No, not right now, but they've done huge revenue as well. So this is one of the only projects that's actually doing so much revenue that you could almost say that the valuation that Hype is at right now is actually fair, all right? Which there's no other crypto project that has that. And a part of the volume, which by the way is also very sticky, right? So you can see that a lot of the volume right here and a lot of the trades that are being opened, etc., are still very, very high right now. They're still gaining a lot of new users here, so that's great to see per day. So their revenue is not decreasing, it's actually increasing over the last 2 months. And part of that revenue is going towards Hype buybacks. And what we have seen is that even in bad times, that revenue is still sticking around, that revenue is still high, which means that even in bearish markets, which like I said is one of the key reasons why I think this is a great crypto to buy during pullbacks. There's a lot of buying demand and demand coming in from their own revenue, which they are still making and which also has been proven in the last time that we got a drop to stick around even in bearish markets. And then outside of that, they're also doing great with their new layer 1 network, which is growing right now. Since the beginning of April, we've gone from $433 million to $2.2 billion. So they're also diversifying their revenue and what provides value for the token, which, by the way, the fees being made, or at least part of the fees being made on the layer 1 blockchain with Hyperliquid are being burned, which decreases supply, which is great. Great project, great coin to buy, maybe the best one to buy during pullbacks. Now, the last one might be a bit of a surprise to some of you, but I am being very, very serious about this, and I'm not some sort of a Ripple fanboy, but I think it's Ripple, all right? I think it's XRP, and that's both when we talk about risk as well as when we talk about rewards. I mean, Ripple, XRP is one of the best, strongest communities and most wealthy communities actually as well in the entirety of crypto, which means, and that's also something we have seen over the last year, that it's actually very, very stable during bad times. XRP is one of the only cryptos that actually stayed stable in the whole duration of December until we got the breakout in July, all right? All other cryptos, all of them actually broke down. XRP did not, right? Because XRP has a strong community, it has strong buying coming in from that community, and it held its own, all right? And we've also seen that during some other times when the market was very bearish and XRP was able to hold support and get strong reactions there. So that's the risk that's relatively limited at this point in time, at least, given the current fundamentals. And then we have certain catalysts in 2025 and 2026 with the Ripple SEC case being completely closed, with the Ripple ETF coming, and with Ripple making new developments, for example, by acquiring Grail and building out their own stablecoin, which is also growing. And that creates reward, that creates potential for the price to move up higher. So I think Ripple, even though it's at a ridiculous valuation, is actually a great choice when we're talking about risk reward if you have a lot of money in crypto, or if you just want a coin that's relatively safe to long. So those are three coins that have pretty high market caps, all of them, but I think in these market circumstances that I expect from 2025, 2026, they can still deliver you great return, both in buying and holding them, but also in longing them at good support levels according to your strategy. Those are my thoughts. Hopefully it helps all of you. Hopefully it's a valuable video to most of you. Thank you for watching. Have a great week, and bye.